Well, good evening, folks. Papa D here with Let's Talk About It with Papa D. I hope you're all having a good day today. Happy Hump Day. And a lot going on today. Meant to get a episode in yesterday, but got delayed, so we are here live tonight. And I've got my cohort in crime coming up here shortly. Angela's ready to come in. I just wanted to show one thing. I know, Angie, you're online, so a little something that I saw earlier this evening. President Trump had a rally this evening, and first rally with the post-Biden decision. And as you can see by this picture, this is still taken earlier, and you can see well attended, to say the least, compared to what has been experienced by the other party. We do have the president giving a speech, an address tonight. First time he's spoken, first time he's been seen in about 6 days. But anyway, just wanted to show that to y'all. And let me bring in my counterpart here. And I'm going to...
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. I'm just going to set up my split here. You know, timing is everything, right? But how are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Let me turn up my volume a little bit. Ooh.
Right.
You hear me?
I got you good. And with the magic of streaming, there we are. There we both are. So yeah, pretty eventful last couple days we've had. Yeah, turn yours down a little bit because I'm getting some feedback over the line.
Okay. Is that better?
I think so. Yep, there we go. All right. So, like I said, pretty eventful couple days. And start off with our president officially leaving the race. And I know you have been keeping tabs on all this, and you've been watching pretty closely. So I'm going to let you kick it off tonight. Do got a little bit of news that just came in across the line I'll touch base on. Certainly the administration's being tested by foreign powers this evening. But you kick it off, Ange.
Oh, boy. All right, so welcome in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you have never seen our channel before, welcome. And if you are new and you wish to tag along on the journey of politics with us a couple times a week, feel free to subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, so Biden is out. Well, I guess the sequence of events was he caught COVID.
Supposedly.
And he was he was sick. He had to isolate and all these things. Right. And over the course of those 3 or 4 days that he was in Delaware, somehow or another, they coerced him, I guess, into handing it over. And so he released a statement letter on X. There was no formal acknowledgement to the United States of America and its people. No sound clip pre-recorded, nothing. We just got a letter, and that was the end of that. And then about a couple minutes after that, he decided, well, let me not forget the most important thing. Who am I handing the baton to? If I'm handing the baton to anybody, I better endorse Kamala Harris. So that's what he did with that second tweet, I guess you could call it.
Right, with no
and so now
consideration for people that
the
didn't
official
vote.
Nope. Or anybody else who might want to jump in at the last minute and throw their hat into the ring, which is they have that right now. That was very odd. And then for everyone, it seemed like there was this mass, crowd, people, Democrats coming from all over the place to suddenly, I mean, Chuck Schumer was giddy. I've never seen that man smile. And he was literally cackling like a schoolboy at his press conference. It was very odd. Just the way that everybody's just on the bandwagon. And I think I did hear one of the news moderators mention this, and I want to say this real quick, Dad, before I hand it back to you. She is essentially holding the bag for all of the failed policies, the cover-up on Biden's health for so long, and the lies from the Democratic Party. She's now holding that weight as she carries on to try to campaign. And we only have 15 weeks until the election. She still hasn't chosen a VP. Granted, it's only been a few days, but she only has 26 days until the convention. So this is a very tight window for her that I'm really curious, even with the mass support from the Democratic Party thus far, from what we know about, okay, I don't know if that's still going to be enough time for her to rally and, everybody and make it to the finish line. I don't feel confident about that for her.
Right. Yeah, and they're making just a big deal about the amount of money that's come in all of a sudden, and they've collected $100 million and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, that's great. But like you said, she is part of. They talk about President Biden and not having a chance, and his popularity's down, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like you said, she is the vice president, and she owns the policy. She owns.
Right.
If she owned the ticket before, she owns the ticket now. Looking at one of her most recent campaign speech, talking about being a prosecutor, and I'm running against a convicted felon, and all rolling that tape back. She's a failed prosecutor. And you go back to what she did in California, nothing to write home about. She really doesn't have a record other than the fact that she is a politician who could not muster but 3% of the vote when she was running for president on her own. She tagged along, was picked as VP,
right,
and conveniently, by the end of the first term, is sitting in a position to become an unelected candidate.
Pick, right. Okay. She was not chosen by any of the delegates. They did not vote for her. No one voted. Well, not yet. They haven't. I mean, for the convention. But in the primary, she wasn't on that. It was Biden all the way, and everybody else was poof, and that was the end of that. So.
But you wake up one morning.
How do you get from?
And you go from being
I wasn't
3%
even
nothing
going. Right.
To front runner for the Democratic Party. And like you said, the support she's getting from the big name Republicans is amazing. But Schumer, in his announcement, was asking for applause. Getting to the point of.
Right. Very odd.
They're just very odd. Again, this will all shake out. I can't wait to see in the convention. She has indicated, the party has indicated, she has the adequate number of votes to be confirmed as candidate. And we'll see. I think there's a whole lot more going on. I think there's a bigger plan.
Okay.
And that we all have to just wait until that plan matures. But to say this is I'm not a Democrat. But if I was a Democrat and I voted for Joe and I ended up with Kamala, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of voters knew what they were getting essentially, but I don't think they anticipated all of this to transpire, and people are trying to find some solid ground right now. If you're a Democrat, more power to you, either side. However,
We don't
you've
care.
got to be wondering at this point, what in the world is going on? And it's just mind-boggling to me, the stuff that's every single day. It's just like you think you've seen it all. Nope. We got more.
Get ready for the next chapter.
It's just wild.
And with that going on, so we have,
Right.
of course, for the party, we have solidarity. We have, everything is going swimmingly. We've got our person. We're moving forward, full speed ahead, raising all kinds of money. We don't care. Well, about an hour before Biden's speech this evening, it was just announced that the U.S. had to scramble fighter jets to intercept Russian and Chinese bombers in the Alaska airspace. It's coming across here now that just an hour before Biden was expected to hit the airwaves, it was announced that jets had to intercept Russian Tu-95 bombers and 2 Chinese H-6 bombers off the coast of Alaska. NORAD scrambled fighters. They were escorted. Fighters were sent from both the United States and Canada. They conducted an intercept and escorted them away. Now, we know what that means. That is a test. It happens on occasion. But let's just say today was the day. This was a precursor to a larger problem, an attack. We have a president that is very clearly incapable, or not at 100%. I'm going to be kind because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a neurologist. I can't make those kind of calls. And then we have a vice president who, I'm sorry, in my opinion and the opinion of many, is just not capable of doing the job. Everyone was talking about, well, God, if something happens in Taiwan, if something happens, we brought it up the other night. If something happens in Korea, there's just so much issues things going on in the world that could pop up. Well, guess what? They just tested the water. The bear just poked and said, you guys are in a little bit of confusion right there. We think we're going to send 4 bombers off the coast of your country and just see what you do. Here we go.
Something.
But anyway, that just popped up, and I wanted to bring that up. I don't work in guarantees, folks, but if it was 4 years ago, that would have not been attempted. It wouldn't have been so brazen. I mean, to have the Russians and the Chinese getting together, it wouldn't have happened. And if it did, I mean, the Russians test our airspace all the time. They poke the bear once in a while just to make sure we're not sleeping at the wheel. This, to me, is a little bit stepping up the game a little bit. But it wouldn't have happened. And just another reason why.
Right. I think with all of what's going on in our country right now, sorry, Dan, with everything that's going on in the country right now, especially the Secret Service getting grilled this week, and the director stepping down, that's a whole separate thing. Finally, thank God, after 10 days. But I think, like we talked about, you said earlier too, like everybody in the world is watching what's happening. And you're crazy if you think they're not. Like, they are. They have televisions. They have social media, too. Everybody in the world has it. So they have access to everything that we see, too. Live streams, everything. People are paying attention, and they know, like, there's a weakness within the system here. And they're not stupid.
You only go after someone when they're on their knees or when they're down. Not on their knees. This country will never be. But there's when you're not looking directly at the screen, you risk having something happen. And if it doesn't have to happen off of our coast. We've got troops in South Korea. We've got troops all over the world, and it's you just don't want to wish. I don't want our boys and all over the
world
troops,
to
have anything happen. But if they're going to do something, they're going to do it when you're their perception, I should say, is that you are weakened, and that you are not don't have your eye on the ball. But hopefully,
Right.
again, this was a just the bear was getting. They were poking
We
the
don't want
bear,
that.
and we sent them on their happy way again. We just need to we need to get to November. And again, we try not to be too 100%
Yes.
one-sided, but
We
it
need
is
to
what it
get to
is.
the finish line of this whole entire thing.
Exactly, exactly. So that's where we're at with that. And again, the president's
Yeah.
making a speech. I
I
think
want
he's
to see
making
it
it
just
now.
all done.
That's right. So we'll see what he has to say. Since he tweeted, I was kind of it was interesting. He went into seclusion because he had COVID. He came off Air Force One unmasked, and now they said they tested him and there's no COVID. So that's I'm glad he got over his COVID or whatever. But I saw some online. It was another journalist that was talking about
Yeah.
what they think happened. I think over the course of that 6 days, Jill's over in Paris, Hunter's out in California. They made Joe real happy and gave him extra ice cream, and made him. It was like the best day he was ever ever had in his life, and it was like, oh, by the way, you're out of a job, and
Mm-hmm.
it's funny, but it's not, in a way it's not, and
It's
the way
sad.
they did
It's
it,
sad.
yeah, it's sad. It really is, and he is our president. Whether you voted for him, whether you like him or not, it's neither here nor there. He is our president, and it is a shame what has happened to him
Right.
physically and what his party has done to him. And nobody can tell me any differently. He has been. The word coup was used, and I think it was a Democratic Party coup, and they've chosen.
Yeah.
At least today they've chosen. Now, I got some things in the back of my head that I thought could happen yet at the convention. We've talked about it, Ange, but I'm going to keep that to myself. But there's still yet chess pieces to be moved. The party has yet to play its hand yet, and we'll see where that all lands. But one thing you did mention, I wanted to
I
get
think
on
so
that
too.
We finally got the head of the Secret Service or we, like I did anything, the pressure that was placed on her, and she resigned. Still with very few questions being answered. She was grilled pretty hard.
True.
To say she was grilled hard was an understatement, but she still is yet to answer questions.
That was
Pardon still to
probably
answer
like the
questions.
greatest live television.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh,
Just
great.
but whatever it took to make it happen. But she still will have to answer. There's still questions yet to be answered. She had to be subpoenaed to get her to even come in and not answer questions. So we'll see what happens down the road. I know they are reviewing. One of the senators asked that all the testimony be read and double checked because they believe there was perjury in there. I mean, that's a given. So we'll see if anything comes out of that, like perjury charges. But just a real.
Right. I think she still is going to be. She's going to have the watch over here, just because, like you said, they are going to review all of her testimony. She was under oath, as is anyone that goes before a committee like that. But I think if you are bold enough to go into that committee meeting knowing that you're going to essentially plead the fifth on every question, you have to know that they're going to come after you for a secondary follow-up.
Right. She came in with no intention of answering any questions, and she thought she could get away with it, like a lot of politicians do. That's not the first one that we've seen come in and say, well, I'm showing up because you subpoenaed me. Doesn't mean I'm going to answer your questions. But she will answer, even though she's no longer in a position. She's still fair game, and she will be held accountable. we'll see where it all lands. But it was just it happened 9 days. 9 days, yeah, 9 days from when the event happened. So
Yeah.
happened too late. Should have happened immediately. Even when Ronald Reagan was the attempted assassination on President Reagan. That at that time I can't recall the name, but the head of the Secret Service immediately resigned because any attempted assassination attempt, especially one that comes out like this one did, is a failure. A failure means you're out of a job. But she was determined that she
Right.
was above that, and she was above that because she's the reason she has the job is because of Joe Biden. So she probably figured she was insulated. But she is now no
True.
longer the head of the Secret Service, so
Well,
we'll see
I
what the
think they
next
were
step
dealing
in
with
that
their
is.
own issues.
Yeah, there's some
Right.
issues there. We also on that same front with respect to the attempted assassination, police announced today also that the would-be at that time turned out to be Trump assassin, who we are not mentioning his name anymore on this channel, was not the only suspicious person at the rally. So now they're finding out not only was the not placing a sniper or someone on the roof because the pitch was wrong was baloney. A drone was flown. Nobody questioned it. A rangefinder was brought in or was there. Nobody questioned that either. Now they're saying, yeah, there was other suspicious people, and you know what? We didn't do anything about it. We let the President Trump come out and take that chance. So there is just so much of this story to come out. I'm trying to stay
Right.
away from the tin hat stuff. There's been talk about a second shooter and this and that. I think they said
Exactly. And
about
it's so, it's, I think it's a, right.
good.
Oh, um, I was going to say a lot of people are, they're going to have their speculations. A lot of, I've heard at least a lot of AI has been uploaded as far as like the crowd is concerned, and people are having issues with that now. So be careful about what you hear and what you see. Find a reputable source. I know that's difficult nowadays, but just keep in mind that the people who are investigating this are doing their job. As painstakingly long as it's taking, it's getting done. And we are going to hear things from people that were at that rally. That is true. That's to be expected. But we just have to be careful of letting the imaginations run wild. It's unfortunate that it happened. Let's not, give it a whole other light and make it spectacular.
Absolutely. And on YouTube and on other social media channels, clickbait's all about making a buck. And people are going to make up stories, are going to embellish,
Right.
are going to pass along rumors and innuendos, things they've heard. That's one thing I won't do. If I see a story in a reputable media outlet, I'll follow it through that way. But you're absolutely right. With AI out there, there's a whole lot that is going to hit the social media streams, and people just can't fall for it. Like you said, let the FBI, let the Secret Service, let Congress do the investigation, and once they determine what we have, then we'll run with it from there. But it's I know one thing that one of the congressmen said. There's a big difference between the Kennedy assassination and the Trump attempt, and he held up his cell phone, and everybody's carrying cell phones. Everybody, they've got more camera and pictures and video angles, so there's a whole lot more evidence for the appropriate people to look through, and they will get through it. But I know they did say
Right.
that the most recent poll that was run said that about a third of Democrats believe that Trump set that up himself. It was all to get sympathy and
That is
numbers
just
in the polls,
preposterous.
and it's just absolutely ridiculous. but that's that's where we are. You know, well, if it happened, it's got to be it's no
Right.
matter what, it's got to be his fault. It's got to be their fault. Both parties will take pokes at each other like that, but that's just utterly ridiculous. And just it's like
It
people.
is. I mean,
The
people.
same people
One,
probably.
one person died in the crowd. Two others were
Right.
injured seriously.
Right. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's just it's akin to the people that also believe we didn't go to the moon. There's plenty of if you pick through
Or
all
that the
the
Earth. Oh,
evidence.
it's like the flat Earth people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's always going to be that group of people that come up with this baloney theories, and hey, you can sit behind a computer terminal and make up a bunch of junk and put it out there, and all of a sudden people start passing it along. Next thing you know, the authorities that are really running things have to, and the proper media has to wave it all off. So we'll just wait, and we'll let the appropriate parties do their investigation, and then we will go from there, and you'll hear it from us after that. But the looks like
Exactly.
the only thing that's changed there, the evidence is still coming around. The state police has testified, in front of the Homeland Security. I did hear that the police department were all carrying body cams, but the body cams were not on. So there's a story to be had there. What exactly is that all about? But
Oh,
again,
that is juicy.
yeah, that's interesting. So, but again, how did it happen? We'll find out.
Suspicious.
Yeah, if there's other
Who
people
knows?
involved, we'll find out about it. That's really all that's going on with that today. There's a lot going on with the investigation, but nothing concrete yet. One thing too, in today's news, the Netanyahu, the president of Israel, gave a speech before Congress today. Of course, it was not attended, I should say, by the Democrats there. One, I believe, is that Talab?
Nope.
Is that how you say her name? Talabi. She was there in protest, held a sign that said war criminal during the Netanyahu's speech, which was absolutely...
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she was out there. Her silent protest, they call it, but she was there, and there was a protest outside, and it's just another another group of people that are going to hold the party accountable. That's all I can really say without getting too deep into it, but. He gave a very great speech. This is the fourth time he's given a speech to Congress. Just checking my notes on this. I wrote a bunch of notes about it, and I know you probably saw part of that too, Ange. I know you were following it. But one of his key lines from the speech.
I watched a little bit of it this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said that the line I loved the best was... trying to find it, but I know it was akin to Winston Churchill's remark when he said, "Give us the tools, we'll finish the job." And he said, "Today as Israel fights on the front line of civilization, I too appeal to America, give us the tools faster, and we will finish the job faster." So he made that statement as part of his remarks, and that's my favorite and very powerful comment to make. Again, we just have the Democrats deciding that they wanted to not be there, and also there's one thing to not show support. There's another to do what Toulouse did.
Snub someone.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ange.
I will say though, without being yay Democrat or yay Republicans, I mean it's apparent, what side we're on. If you want, I think the Democrats should have been there. If you want to see how a leader gets in front of a group of people and rallies them, take notes, because that's how you do it. That's how you get it done.
Absolutely.
You come prepared, you get your point across, you speak to everyone, you speak respectfully, and you go. That's how it's done. And I think they should have been there to figure that out, because they could have used a little bit of that today, I feel like.
Yeah, and we've always been friends of Israel. We've always had their back. They've had our back. And all of a sudden, now we apparently turn our back and, call them war criminals and all this stuff. There's a lot of pictures online, and I'm certainly not going to be able to show that. There's a lot of things on Fox. I really love the coverage we get from Fox, and a lot of photos of the pro-Hamas agitators that raging around, spray painting memorials, burning American flags and replacing them with Hamas with their flag. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But that's how they do things. And you're absolutely right. They just need to listen to a man who gave a great speech and is doing nothing but protecting his country. And this has been a battle that's been fought for a long time, and it behooves us to continue to support those world leaders like Netanyahu. And I'll never change my mind on that.
Yeah.
Just had another piece of information pop through here real quick. We're bouncing around tonight, but there's just so much going on. Looks like Obama has not yet endorsed tariffs, but his inner circle signals he is supporting her. So I think that we have, you can't have a full trifecta of support around her without the Obamas. And it looks like that is getting ready to come. That is forthcoming. So we'll probably see something there before the weekend hits.
That should be interesting.
But going through everything I had for the day, but big news for the day, or big news for the week so far is, and we will go back. I'm going to go back and watch the president's address, see what he has to say. I did not intentionally did not decide to run it or hold back the live stream tonight until had a chance to watch it, replay of it, and then digest it, and then we'll come back at the next episode and be able to talk about that. And hopefully at this point we'll also have some indication as to Harris's vice presidential candidate that she's going to nominate. There's a lot of people in play. Governor of Florida, Governor of Kentucky, a whole lot of names being bandied around, and one of them being Mark Gifford, correct? The astronaut? Mark Kelly. Gabby Gifford's okay. Had the names messed up here, but Mark Kelly's name's being pushed pretty hard. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. But we will keep a close eye on that and be able to bring that information back as soon as we can. But I hit all my high points for the update today. We're going to try to get these updates out every 3 days. If there is some kind of breaking news, which there has been a lot of lately, we'll be able to jump in and throw a stream out there. Rather than throw videos together and all, we like to do the live streams. I think we are getting some real good traction on the page, and we appreciate everyone for coming out and supporting us. We're coming up on our first, I think we're almost at 700 subscribers and growing every day, so it's amazing. Most of our subscribers are watching the replays, which is great. That's one thing about the live events. we do produce them live. They immediately go to a past live event, and y'all can click on them at your leisure, watch them. We do like the fact that that's out there in perpetuity, so everybody can enjoy them when they want. But please watch the videos, like the videos. All of those things help massively with the YouTube AI. But the YouTube, it allows us to grow. It allows us to get out further, which allows us to grow some more. And we appreciate having that opportunity. So if you haven't subscribed, if you're a new viewer to our page, hit that subscribe. Where's right there? There you go. That worked out well. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, all those things. That is a big help to us, and we appreciate everyone that has supported us so far and continues to support our page and this great country we live in. Let's see. I think that takes care of everything I had. You got anything else for the good of the Order Ranch?
Real quick, I just want to mention polls. We did not get to that. There has been some updates.
We didn't.
It's still looking good for Trump, regardless. But now that Harris is in the mix, we got to talk about how Harris is faring, because last week it was Biden's doing crummy. Now it's how's Harris doing? Okay, so I've got some updates on that. Did some homework before we came on tonight. So leading the polls right now, national poll, okay, Trump is at 43%. Harris is at 37%. Trump is up 6 points national. Second thing, Trump is still standing at a 56% chance to win the presidency. Okay, so overall, the gamblers and the bookies are having a field day. All but I think one swing state right now. So this is after the rally to bring her in, and all this is going on now. It hasn't been a full week, so we do kind of the polls need about a week to adjust, really, to get back on like a rhythm. So we won't really know anything until like beginning of next week to middle, where that's really going to settle for now. But I just, they kicked, Biden's not doing so hot in the polls. He's gone. He doesn't have a brain. He's out. Okay, whatever they think. Now we're going to bring in Harris. She's going to save the party, and she's going to bring all the Americans back to us to vote for us this year. So far, it's not looking too promising. So I'm really curious if it's going to level out a little bit more the closer we get to Election Day, or if this is just going to be a runaway race for Trump, and he's going to leave Harris in the dust. It's going to be interesting to see that, Dad.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been following a couple of the poll sites, and there's one individual on YouTube that actually runs a really good daily poll site. And you're absolutely right. The numbers they're projecting right now, the swing states that are out there, I think last call he was estimating 361 electoral votes. I'm still having trouble digesting New York being a swing state and being on the lip right now, and Jersey just flipped over, and that hasn't happened since Chris Christie. So the numbers right now are pointing towards, and again, knock on wood, we don't want to jinx it. The other thing is we don't know what kind of shenanigans are planned. We felt like this in 2020, and everything was going that way until all of a sudden, boom, at 2 a.m. or whatever it was. But the polls right now, like you said, are absolutely blowing away the story that the other side's talking about. And the crazy part of that is that she should have gotten a bump, that quick 2-3 point bump, and I'm not sure that materialized.
Yeah, a significant bump.
Yeah, I mean, if it did, it came right back down.
I'm curious to see what happens at the. Right, I'm still curious to see what's going to happen after the convention. I know Trump did have about a 4-point bump right after the convention. So I'm curious, but even at 4 points of a bump, it's still not going to it's not going to push her over the threshold to where she's got it locked pretty much, you know. And when you hit late September, you want to have kind of a lock situation happening.
Mm-hmm. It's not there. And you know, we have a lot. I want to say we have a lot of time, but we don't, because next thing you know, kids are back in school. Next thing you know, it's Halloween. Next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving. Boom, it's over.
Right.
So it seems like a lot of time, but it's not. But that's why I'm kind of amazed that I'm amazed people are amazed that there's been so much of a ground game so far that has been kicked into gear, because the only way you have the ground game kick in that fast is if it's part of the plan anyway. So I just, assuming nothing, shenanigan wise or a big event, an October surprise as they call it, it is not looking like things could move far enough to support a Harris win. But we'll keep an eye on those polls. But we're all looking at the same thing. It's just, it's not getting any better. It's gotten worse. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we hit everything for this one anyway. We did have a lot going on, and I'd like to invite you guys.
Yeah.
Send us comments. Talk to us what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. Certainly during the live, as we get more of our viewers that come back or are interested in coming in for the live events, shoot us a comment. We'd love to talk, answer questions, give you our opinion. We don't have all the answers, but unlike politicians, if we don't have an answer, we'd certainly be honest and tell you that, and we'll find out. But we'd love to get some discourse going on, and we don't need to just hear from all of our like-minded friends. Come on in, and if you have something serious and realistic and a good question and something that makes sense, we'd love to have some dialogue about it. And one thing I did want to bring up too, we brought this up at the last one, Ange, the Protect the Vote page, our website. See if I can bring that up. There we go. That is protectthevote.com, and this is something that I feel very strongly about. It's a site that was set up to allow people to interact and to become part of the election integrity issue. We all know, we all feel anyway, that there was an integrity issue, and in 2020, votes were found later. Votes are still being found. Ballots are still coming up. And this site allows you to go in, and you can see that you enter your name and your mobile number, your email address. Well, you don't have to put your mobile number in if you don't want. But you can sign up, go to your state page, and when you go to the state page, you hit Get Options. You can put your information in. You can volunteer. You can report if there's a ballot integrity issue that you become aware of, poll watching. You can learn a little bit about election law if you're not well versed, or you're a first-time voter, you're a new voter coming out first time. And you can also bank your vote and vote early. But this is a good page. It is something that was set up so all of us could become part of the effort to make sure we have a election that's fair and honest, and also give us a chance to learn a little bit about the process itself. There you are, Angie. So I would recommend go out and check that out.
Yeah.
And again, it's protectthevote.com. We get nothing for it. We're not affiliated with it, but it's something I think is a great idea. And as we move into this probably one of the most, if not the most important elections in this country's history, it behooves us all to kind of keep our eyes open and make sure we can keep it as fair and as honest as we possibly can. So that's my spiel for those folks. Go on out and check that site out. And again, we do it because we agree with them. That's a great idea. That's about all there is. So I think that's pretty much where we need to be. I think we hit all the high points. And without getting into conjecture and without getting into information that is not yet confirmed. And we will do that as some of this information comes through, especially with respect to the assassination attempt, and as we move towards learning who the vice presidential candidate will be for the Democratic Party. So, what you think, Ange? Anything else?
Yeah. I'm good. I think we hit all the good, important parts.
Yeah, and as everybody can tell, we're trying to just kind of go through the events of the day and of the last couple of days, and not deep dive any specific piece until it's really something that we have enough information and data on. You know, we are watching the polls. We'll keep you abreast of that. And all we can say is, please come back, visit with us often, like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And we love seeing our family grow, so appreciate you all helping us out with that. And what we'll do, we'll probably retool now for next, unless there's an event that comes up, some decisions are made. Probably within the next couple days, we'll come up with our. I'll post it on the web on the channel, so you can check it out whenever we have an event coming up. It will be posted. You can hit the notify button. You will be notified when we go live and when we're ready to go live, and you can catch all the shenanigans going on here at our channel. So I think what we'll do, we'll call it a night, and get ready for the next one. What you say?
Yeah.
All right,
wait.
guys. Sounds like a winner.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Sounds good to me. Well, on behalf of Angie and I, this is Papa D. Thanks again, and we'll see you all at the next episode. Stay strong. God bless America.
Bye, guys. God bless America.